Yo, I just stay reading at this point, motherfuckers. I just stay reading, gang. Make sure you read, gang. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of motherfuckers illiterate nowadays. That's why you gotta read, bro. You gotta sharpen the brain. You gotta sharpen your tongue.
HDTV.
Recently, I had read The Great Gatsby, gang. I just finished this fucking book straight off the presses, gang. I just finished this motherfucker, gang. So I feel like this is a pretty famous book. You know, they made a movie about it. I never watched the movie, right? So reading the book was completely fresh for me. You know, first time reading it, I had no idea what was gonna happen. All I really knew about it was the motherfucker throws parties and shit. He a rich motherfucker throwing parties, trying to get a girl or some shit, gang. That's all I really knew about the book going into it, right? So I'm reading the book, right? And to be honest, the first like fucking 20 pages, like before, because Gatsby's not the main character, right? He's not the protagonist. I think we got our boy Nick, he the protagonist, right? I'm gonna just call him Tobey Maguire because I think Tobey Maguire plays him in the movie, right? So he's our protagonist, right? He going through the movie and shit. He meets Gatsby at one of his parties. He's Gatsby's neighbor and everything, right? And you know, they chop shit up. And Gatsby seems like a regular guy, but like I was saying, actually, the first portion of the book, gang, kind of boring, bro. Like it didn't lock me in. I didn't really know what was going on. It was kind of like, you know, setting shit up and shit. But it really had me up until we meet Gatsby and we go to one of Gatsby's parties, bro. Then I'd say book kind of starts to pick up a bit more and you're a bit more engaged, right? So as the story goes on, you know, you meet Gatsby, you get to know Gatsby, and it turns out Gatsby's kind of fucking with this shorty named Daisy, right? He knew Daisy from back in the day, but he was a broke motherfucker back then. You know, she didn't want him and shit. He couldn't provide for her and shit, you know what I'm saying? Bro went to war and shit, comes back, stacks the money up, you know what I'm saying? He run it up one time, and now he back looking for Daisy, trying to marry Daisy, gang. But Daisy already hitched with some other motherfucker, our boy Tom Haverford, gang. You know what I'm saying? And Tom, like, he a dirty motherfucker, bro. Like, he a jealous motherfucker, but he got the right to be jealous. You know what I'm saying? You got a motherfucker trying to take his girl and shit. And, you know what I'm saying? He not happy about that, right? End of the day, it makes sense, right? It's a classic tale of shorty being a little too bad. She got two suitors trying to fend for her love, fight for her love and shit, gang. Classic tale old as time, you know what I'm saying? So Gatsby's throwing these parties, right? Nick is his neighbor. He starts, you know, clicks in with Nick. He knows Nick knows Daisy. He wants Nick to introduce him to Daisy. Nick introduces him to Daisy. They start fucking scheming on the low. They're doing some dirty shit on the side. And then it all, in the climax of the story, it all kind of compiles together and shit. And bro, you know, and ultimately tells Tom Haverford, he's like, yo, I'm trying to take your girl. Peace, gang. Right? Tom not having it. It's a little squabble situation and shit. They kind of disperse and everything, right? Then, bro, like that kind of happens and everything's kind of like, it's logical and shit. To be honest, as I'm reading it and shit, bro, it's cool, but it's nothing crazy, right? I really like how it was written, right? It's kind of an older style book, older English, I guess you could kind of say, right? But very well written, bro. I'll give it that, yo. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like I said, I feel like it didn't fully hook me in the beginning. And there's other parts that I wasn't really fucking with. You know, I'm kind of like zoning out. I'm like, whatever about it. But when it had me, bro, it had me. And the writing was really good, right? But, bro, so when this whole commotion happens with him, everyone kind of finding out that Gatsby wants to get with Daisy, bro, it's like a series of like, what the fucks take place, you know what I'm saying? Or ensue type shit, you know what I'm saying? Basically, Gatsby and Daisy kill a shorty, right? Tom kind of finds out. Tom tells shorty's husband that Gatsby did it. That motherfucker goes, kills Gatsby, gang, and Gatsby dead by the end of the book, bro. Weird shit, like interesting shit, weird shit, crazy turn of events. Daisy and Tom Haverford straight kick it, you know what I'm saying? They out of there, and you know what I'm saying? That's the story, bro. So it was, I don't know, bro. Like I feel like it's not one that I'd recommend, honestly, gang. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a classic. I feel like if you're into classics and shit, may as well give it a shot. But to be honest, it's a very short book, but it took me fucking forever to read. It took me like 2 weeks, you know what I mean? And that's just cause like I wasn't engaged, you know what I'm saying? Like there were days where I planned to read, you know, but when the book not good, I'm human, you know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect and shit, so I'm like, I ain't trying to read today. But that ultimately comes down to the fact that the book didn't really keep me hooked, you know what I'm saying? It's a very short book. I decided to push through the last like 40 pages and I finished it quick, right? But even that, like even the ending, like when shit kind of started going left and right, I wasn't fully hooked. I wasn't fully like, oh shit, let me like, I was more like, what the fuck going on? You know what I mean? Ultimately, when it comes to the themes of the book, right, it kind of makes me think about what the author wanted to say. What's kind of the message of the story? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like what I took away from it, I don't know, gang. I don't know what the fuck I was supposed to take away from it, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker gets money and now he about to get the shorty and shit, and shorty's down for it. But then envy and shit gets in the way. Dirty maneuvers get in the way. You know what I'm saying? But that's life, gang. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing new. But I guess it's an old-timey book. You know, they're trying to make a point of that shit, right? Just to remind you that the dirty games of love and life and shit. You know what I'm saying? And a masculine, like, fucking presence in society. I feel like it lets you know, like, a man's status very important in society. I feel like it tells you money a big deal when it comes to this shorty shit, gang. I feel like, yeah, bro, it's like Gatsby had all this money, he was throwing all these parties, he wanted to get the attention of Daisy. Daisy never came and shit, right? I thought the parties would have more of an effect in the story. Like, I thought it'd be a bit very glamorous kind of book. And I guess it was in the beginning, but that doesn't really continue throughout the story, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's like, it really makes me think about like all the bullshit political shit with the celebrities that's going on right now, man. You know, all the weird fucking like Diddy parties, fucking Epstein Island type shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like weird shit that comes with the elites in the world. You know what I mean? Where all that like murder and espionage is a bit more taken lightly, a bit more kind of commonplace. And like it's always over some bullshit, you know what I mean? It's always some weird shit going on that drives them to murder and bullshit like that, you know what I mean? Like it's weird, bro. And they think they have so much power, they got so much wealth, but emotionally they're never satisfied, bro. Which is actually probably one of the messages within the story, you know what I mean? There was this one really like interesting moment in the book where Gatsby's donezo, he dead, right? And they're going to like, they're throwing the funeral for him and everything, right? They're trying to get the word out there, like bro's got a funeral going on and shit. And the author kind of made a note to talk about how like no one shows up to the funeral, bro. It's like 3 people, and he kind of mentions that there's this one guy that you meet earlier in the book. You don't even like really talk to the guy, but you see him at one of Gatsby's parties, and he's like the only party goer that pulls up to the funeral, bro. And then even that guy in the book is like, damn, bro, all these motherfuckers you should pull up to his parties and shit. No one gonna show face when Brody done, you know what I'm saying? And that hit deep, bro. Cause I feel like that's really part of the masculine frame and shit, right? Who gonna be there at your funeral, right? How many lives did you touch while you were here? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a real message that I feel like a lot of different pieces in literature, a lot of different, I guess like stories have touched on, you know, like who's gonna be there at your funeral, right? What kind of impact did you leave behind, right? And it really does make you think, bro, like bro really led this glamorous life. A lot of people knew his name, right? He was pretty like revered in the society and everything. But when shit went left, people didn't really want to associate themselves with him, even though they benefited from him so much, even though they fantasized about him, talked about him, you know, bro was talk of the town and shit. But when shit went left, they were like, fuck this guy, bro. Or like, I don't know this guy, or I don't even want to be a part of this shit. Right? Even though when shit was all fine and dandy, he had all the friends in the world, bro. That's fucked. But yeah, I feel like that, reading that one expert or that one moment in the book was the highlight, I'd say, right? I feel like though I wasn't fully engaged in the story, that one moment really did make, you know, give me pause, made me think about just life a little bit, you know what I'm saying? How the kind of life I want to lead. And, you know, just makes you think about that day, you know, that does come for everybody, and you know how you gonna be remembered, you know what I'm saying? Who gonna be there? Who were you there for? Who gonna be there for you? Type shit, you know what I mean? Because even he said like all this shit that he did for Daisy, or like his whole heart was kind of just longing for this one girl. She ain't even show face at the funeral. She ain't even send no card, no flowers, no nothing, right? Oh yeah, and even she was the one that was fucking driving, bro, when they said Gatsby fucking hit or they killed that one motherfucker wife, bro. It was fucking Shorty Low was driving the whole time, bro. It wasn't even Gatsby, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Gatsby felt bad and shit. He still cared about her. He still wanted to make sure she was good. And all this dirty political shit happened, bro. And Buddy was donezo on top of everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's tough, bro. Now that I really think about it too, bro. Like he was really down bad about a shorty, and shorty. It's hard, right? Because I know like shorty can't really, because there's the shorty angle, like what could she really do in the situation, and then there's fucking Tom Haverford, who kind of gets in there and like, you know, then it turns into some like masculine fucking show off type shit, right? And Tom Haverford ultimately kind of puts the shit in motion to get Gatsby killed, right? Out of his own fucking envy, out of his own like arrogance and shit, and his own ego, trying to like, yo, fuck this guy, trying to get my girl, fuck this guy, right? But yeah, bro, Daisy low-key just being caught in the mix and shit, but not really getting to have a voice, right? I understand this is back in the day, so it's like women, I don't want to say like are lesser in society, but you know how it was and shit, right? Back in the day, man. So she ain't really, but who knows if she even would have, right? Because like, would she really have wanted to go through all these complications to back this motherfucker, bro? Because she ain't, and at the end of the day, she ain't really like live with him, right? She ain't live a life with him. He was just like a fling on the side earlier back in the day, right? Nice little situationship she had. You know, they made a point to say she had hella suitors lined up for her and everything, man. But oh, she only loved Gatsby, this, that. It's like, aight, gang, sure, buddy. Did you even love Gatsby? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, right? Shorty Low, and she didn't even wait for Brody. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wanted to settle down. She wanted a wealthy man. She wanted a good life, gang. That's what they all want at the end of the day, I guess, gang. Fuck, bro. But hey, guys, that was the Great Gatsby, gang. Again, to be honest, gang, if you like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, not a book I'd really recommend. Though I feel like the themes in this book, now that I've kind of explained it and I talked about it, I feel like I've come to appreciate the book a lot more, even just through this discussion. You know what I'm saying? Really seeing how I feel about it, really seeing how, you know, some of those deeper themes kind of have evolved in my head and shit. So yeah, man, I guess I see where it stands in classic literature. But even though it's considered a classic, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't mean you gotta read all them fucking classics, gang, you know what I'm saying? Some are pretty straight to the point, some you can fucking skip, gang, and shit, right? Like, but you do your thing, gang. Good read, good message in there and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting, right? Light read, you could just get the summary online or some shit, gang. You could pass on this one, gang. But that's the Great Gatsby for you, gang. You know, you guys read it? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. You know what I'm saying? What themes did you guys take away from the book? You know? Is Daisy justified, gang, or is Daisy the villain the whole time, gang? You know what I'm saying? Let's discuss in the comments, gang. Peace.